Stories from the Heart, presented by Fidelis Care. Quality health coverage. It's our mission. Call 1-888-FIDELIS or visit fideliscare.org.
A sewing class in the Henry Street settlement that's been around since the 1940s is still going strong. But the thread that holds this all together is a special teacher who's been there for over 50 years. It's tonight's Stories from the Heart.
When you finish threading it, call me and I'll help you pull it through.
This is Ruth Taube. At 95 years old, she's still running the home planning workshop at the Henry Street settlement.
I teach sewing, knitting, crochet, embroidery, and if you have troubles, I teach you how to cope with them.
Ruth has been leading classes and making friends here since 1966.
So they called me and asked me if I wanted the job, and I said, absolutely. Here I am.
Since that time, Ruth estimates she's taught at least 5,000 people at her workshop. Her most memorable clients?
I always remember the 3 brides that made their wedding gowns. That I'll never forget.
And speaking of brides, Ruth also handmade her daughter's wedding dress, ironically, who never learned to sew herself.
Doesn't even know how to thread a needle.
Ruth says you have to have a love for the craft.
Well, with me, it's my hobby, my livelihood, and my life.
And it's something that gets her through the tough times, like after her mother passed away.
To this day, I could be in a dumpy mood. I sit down at the machine, and I'm well.
And while sewing brings joy to her life, she brings so much of that to others.
How are you? How you doing, dear?
Good. Everything's
good to see you.
You look good in pink.
Yeah. She's been an inspiration since day one. Her work ethic, her consistency, her compassion, the fact that she's in tune with the people that come to her program.
It was time for this role model to give us a tour.
This one is very, very old, but some of the ladies love the old machines because they're easier to thread and easier to maneuver than some of these highfalutin new machines.
Ruth says her work week keeps her healthy and in the loop, which ultimately creates more quality time with her own family.
It didn't matter if I had to stay later, I stayed later. If I had to come earlier, I came earlier. I consider it my second home.
We just love Ruth. So cute. For 125 years, the Henry Street settlement has provided social services, arts, and healthcare services to New Yorkers.